Most dogs will do about something to delight their owners. Dogs are usually keen to acquire reward and affection, that's why training completed right can produce the desired results in little time. For example, you can educate your dog to shake speedy and without difficulty, absolutely through knowing the steps. Getting to teach dog to shake paws with you or with any of your pals is a neat trick to train your pet. The quality part is this trick isn't always a hard one to educate your dog in, as long as you're able to do it the right way. A tip before getting commenced. While teaching your dog, attempt to hold training classes to approximately 10 minutes or so due to the fact your dog will maximum in all likelihood become bored if it is any more. Additionally, by no means punish your dog for not doing it wrong, just praise him when he does do it, and while he does not, give him not anything and do it again. Why ought you use treats during training? While training your canine to shake on command is a completely rewarding feeling, that isn't the kind of praise I've been talking approximately. I'm talking greater approximately those tasty, pungent, extremely good enticing treat your canine is working for all through training periods. After I taught dog obedience instructions, I should assume there to be at least one individual in each elegance who become hesitant to apply treats at some point in education. They didn't just like the concept of coaching their dog to anticipate a reward for doing what they have been requested. Every time this came up, I would continually ask the proprietor why they went to paintings that day. The solution, nearly without fail, was for the cash. I then kindly point out to them that their dog was operating tough to research those new tricks, and so, shouldn't we pay them for that work, too? The reality is, you ought to count on your dog to work for nothing. They need some sort of motivation to do what you ask. You may use aversive measures like most trainers used to advise. But don't forget how your work is probably affected if you acquire paid by way of someone yelling at you or yanking to your tie. Not handiest might you be much less likely to provide your all, but you would likely be too preoccupied with tension to concentrate on getting to know whatever new. Tremendous rewards offer your dog with wholesome motivation and create an environment that's conducive to getting to know. Toys and praise make notable rewards too, but treats are mainly exact for educating new behaviors. Small treats may be inhaled rapidly, so more repetitions may be completed every session, at the same time as toys require longer breaks after each fulfillment. The reward is extraordinary for making a canine experience like they did something properly. However, you may grasp the reward in the front of a canine to get them to try a brand new behavior. For most people of puppies, tender, silly, tasty treats are going to be the fine praise you could provide. In case you train a behavior with treats, received you continually need treats? Every other not unusual false impression approximately treat-based totally education is the perception that a canine educated with treats will continually require treats to perform. But this is most effective authentic in case you fail to train your canine successfully. Dogs are notoriously terrible at generalizing. In case you teach your dog to take a seat at the same time as standing in front of them in your residing room whilst using hot puppies and wearing a red shirt, they're going to war to offer you a take a seat on the park without treats, even as walking away from you in your blue blouse. Their brains just don't make those leaps. You want to help them make those leaps with the aid of slowly converting exclusive variables inside the education till they take into account that the one consistent is the command this is given. After they simply understand that they should sit while you say take a seat, regardless of wherein, what you are wearing, or what treats you do or don't have, simplest then have you absolutely trained the behavior. The ability of variable rewards. Teaching your dog that they received always get a treat for doing a specific behavior is some other step most proprietors neglect to take. This may be a piece of a confusing idea if you are unfamiliar with it. After all, your dog has to get paid for their paintings, so don't they constantly want treats for doing what we ask? In case you're schooling new conduct, then virtually you need to pay your canine after every fulfillment. In case you don't, they will suppose they aren't being handled due to the fact they did the wrong aspect. And which can lead to a breakdown inside the conduct you are trying to teach. However, Once your dog is aware of the conduct and is acting it reliably each time you deliver the command, not treating them on occasion can surely boom the reliability of the behavior. The equal is authentic for your canine. Once they know that down approach to put down, in the event that they don't get a treat this time, they believe they may be much more likely to get one next time. So, they'll ensure to provide down once more so that they don't pass over out at the opportunity for the praise they understand is coming. You may comprise this concept into your training by slowly introducing a variable reward agenda as soon as your dog has mastered a command. Make sure you're nonetheless treating your dog every few reps, however, don't achieve this predictably. Strive to treat on the second one, 5th, 6th, 10th, and 13th try, for example. And, to actually hook that mammalian brain, strive to throw in jackpot reward every once in a while by means of throwing out more than one treats on your canine or setting out an amusing sport of chase. Changing treats with different forms of rewards. Of the path, treats aren't the only reward your dog is in all likelihood to just accept. Praise and play additionally have an area of education. You should usually reward your canine whilst they're first gaining knowledge of something. In a while, praise may be supplied on a variable timetable similar to treats. Each praise and brief bouts of play may be utilized in the vicinity of treats in case you appear to be without. As long as your dog feels confident in their information of the command and that they'll receive a command eventually, in one shape or any other, they must maintain to perform reliably whether or not you've got treats or not. A way to teach your dog to shake. Now that you realize how to utilize treat rewards correctly to train dependable behaviors, it's time to exercise what you've discovered via training your dog to shake. Before you begin, make sure you have masses of tasty, pungent treats, your treat bag, and a quiet room to train in. If your dog is clicker educated, you may use your click as your high quality marker whilst your dog does the appropriate conduct. If now not, you may simply say sure. Or properly canine. Alternatively. Step 1, lure your dog to pick up the paw. Sit dog. To start, ask your dog to sit in front of you. Subsequent, take a pungent treat and show it in your canine, then ball it up in your fist. Keep your fist down close to your dog's wrist. Your canine all likelihood begin mouthing and pawing at your hand to get at the deal with. The second they lift their paw, use your tremendous marker, and deliver them the deal with. If your dog does not paw your hand, you can want to strive for an alternate approach to get them to raise their paw. With your dog nonetheless sitting in front of you, faucet their leg lightly simply above their paw. Hold to faucet till they flow their paw. Use your nice marker the instant they twitch, lift, and slide their paw over. Then reward and praise them. Repeat whichever of the above strategies works high quality for your dog. Maintain till your dog quickly lifts their paw while you give your fist or tap on their leg. Step 2, reward your dog for pawing your hand. Subsequently, you may form the paw elevated to an actual hand touch. Start as you probably did before and inspire your dog to boost their paw by offering your fist or tapping their leg. Maintain your or fist near their paw. The instant their paw touches your hand, use your high quality marker, and reward them. In the event that they don't hit your hand once they raise their paw, wait a moment to peer if they'll more after your reward. In the don't, you can want to go back to the first step and reward them a dozen or so extra times for just lifting their paw earlier than attempting this step again. As soon as your canine does hit your hand, reward them. Keep engaging them to move their paw and profitable them for making contact along with your hand time and again. Step 3, introduce your hand cue. As soon as your dog understands that they are being rewarded for touching your hand, you're prepared to dispose of the initial enticement to get them to lift their paw. Without preserving a deal with or touching your canine's leg, present a flat, open hand in front of your dog's wrist. You ought to use the hand opposite the paw they were lifting. Deliver your canine a minute to do not forget what you need. They have to elevate their paw and contact your hand as they were earlier than. Once they do, mark the conduct and praise them. In the event that they don't swat at your hand after a couple of minutes, cross back to the preceding step and do a dozen more reps earlier than attempting again. Repeat the manner of offering a flat hand and rewarding your dog for swatting it. Carry your hand barely better with each success rep till your dog will swat at your hand whilst it's far held out in the front of their shoulder. As soon as your dog is doing that constantly, start holding their paw once they paw your hand. At the start, best keep it for a second, then slowly work up to a complete shake earlier than marking the behavior and rewarding them. Step 4, call the behavior. Now that your dog is consistently while you preserve your hand, you are equipped to add a verbal cue. This time, before imparting your hand, say shake. Offer your flat hand as you did before and reward your canine for shaking. Repeat this system at least some dozen times to permit your dog to build an association between the word shake and the behavior. Step 5, introduce variable rewards. Once your dog is efficacious whenever you stick out your hand and say shake, you are equipped to introduce variable rewards to make the behavior stronger. Note, in case your dog has discovered shake in a single training session, wait to introduce intermittent rewards. If they may be nevertheless supplying a regular shake whilst you begin your next education session, then you can begin introducing variable rewards. Begin by using worthwhile the first 10 or so hit shakes. On the subsequent shake, handiest reward your dog. Praise them for the next. After which pass the praise for the following reps. Maintain this system of growing the range of unrewarded reps among rewarded reps. In case your canine begins to hesitate earlier than shaking, otherwise you get to a point in which you are going lengthy stretches between rewards, marvel your canine on their next hit rep with jackpot praise. Praise them after they shake, then throw a handful of treats on the floor for them to choose. Out of doors of education periods, ask your dog to shake earlier than you feed them before you allow them out to play in the backyard or move for a stroll, or whatever else your canine considers profitable. Step 6, transfer paws. Once your dog has mastered shaking with one paw, it's time to retrain them to shake with the opposite paw. Follow the same steps mentioned above, however, this time use your opposite hand. If you need, you can call this shake something else, like paw or low five. Seeing the puppy are greater keyed into our body language and hand indicators than what we say, the usage of shake for both sides is likewise exceptional, as long as you use contrary hands. Keep your dog's tricks dependable. Whether or not your canine is aware of simplest a handful of tricks or a few dozen, it's essential to hold them reliable.